Yo, and we're live. Welcome back to another episode of the First Division podcast. It's your host, Steve, back again with my main man, Drew. What's going on, man?
Nothing. What's up with you?
Not much. Just trying to work or navigate the waters, which is the world that we live in today.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's a little bit tricky to navigate. Trying to just make some moves.
But you don't have it as bad though as it is over here. Very somewhat lucky.
What are some of the things that are what are going down at the moment over there?
I'm just saying as far as like the restrictions, and then still there's like nobody's like dying or anything. I don't know. It's just like labeling anything else. You could label something and then say this, and then you could just make that this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could just tell you one thing and then just spin it and wrap it up into another thing, right?
I don't mean that. I'm saying like they could have made the swine flu this case. What's the difference between this one and any other one? People died off that shit. People die off the flu. You could label any flu that they called a seasonal flu that they would give it a name that season. You can name it that. Why? How is that any different than what this is?
Yeah, they always have. They always say that at this time. They always say it's the flu season, right? All the media says it's the flu season. So what's the difference between this flu and any other flu that's warranting all these shutdowns of everything?
I'm saying you could have gave lots of TV attention to any other flu disease, anything, and you can make people just as scared and do all of that. It could be anything. It's not like the bubonic plague where people are just like dropping dead or something or like craziness like that. Then that would be something to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. I remember like back in the old days that smallpox thing as well, where people got infected and didn't know what it was and just were dying by outrageous amount of numbers.
Yeah, that's true. But then when you got older, it ran through you. If you got it, you were good. You never got it again.
Yeah, that's interesting too, right? How you just never.
Well, because I think that's what you're supposed to do with some of these things. And they're not letting you now. So it's like they're trying to tell you what you need for your body. That makes no sense. I don't tell this faggot any of these fag fucking uh state governors or anything what they should be eating for fucking breakfast. The hell?
Yeah, but then they turn around and go on TV and tell you what you should eat for breakfast, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I never understood that. It almost seems like they project that people have a problem and make it seem like they are not experiencing that same problem too. Do you know what I mean?
Well, kind of not when they're all rich and shit and they can make moves and do whatever they want, kind of.
Sure, but they're also humans where they can get sick as well. It's not like they're any different just because they have money in that way. The human body reacts to certain things the same way, regardless whether you have money or not.
Well, what I'm saying, it doesn't even matter if they got sick. It's not even that big of a deal unless you're a fat motherfucker and you don't take care of yourself. Then you're in trouble.
Right, exactly. I mean, you're gonna have like respiratory problems already, and all types of organ type of failures and things like that.
I think it just gets the weak, man, to be honest.
Physically weak, probably also mentally weak as well.
Probably, yeah. You can't fight anything if you're physically and mentally weak.
Did you hear the statistics? There's like a statistics going on where suicide rates have been going up, like up because of the quarantines where people are getting locked in and then they don't know how to cope with it properly, and then
who even knows? Or maybe it's bullshit too. My mom was telling me a story about a doctor that worked in New York, and because she saw all the people dying, she committed suicide. And I said, that makes no sense because she's a doctor. She signs up to help people. Why would she kill herself? I don't care how many people she saw die. That's what she did. What the fuck? That makes no sense.
I don't see the logic. I don't find the logic in that. What is the logic in that? That just because you see massive amount of people die, that is going to make you.
Because they were trying to scare you. It was propaganda. That's what I'm saying. Stupid fucking fake news and shit, trying to tell, like, make you all scared. Like, oh, this doctor, it's that serious. This doctor killed herself. Like, stupid, dude. What the fuck? That lady's retarded. Why would you kill yourself? You signed up to help people. That makes no sense.
And even if you didn't sign up for to help people, I mean, that doesn't warrant the fact for you to commit suicide. I mean, it's a sad, tragic event that she did that, but
Well, even if it's even true, though,
that's true too. Yeah,
you hear about it one day and then nothing after.
Yeah, they don't. There's the media doesn't follow it up with anything, right? Like
they're not very credible. That's all I'm gonna say. And they've gotten caught many times, just especially with this Trump thing. They were saying he was so sick, blah blah blah, and then the doctors came out and said he's fine. He's blah blah blah. But they were all saying, "Oh, we don't know if he's gonna make it," and blah blah blah. And it's like they're just trying to fuck the election up for everybody else. You know what I mean? Or the people that really care about all that crap.
Yeah, they might want to play like the sympathy card, where like, okay, people are gonna feel bad for him, and then so he's gonna get people on his side that way. Oh, he's sick, so let's bring him back to health and see what he can do for the country.
Some might, but this guy was saying a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were going to vote for Biden for president and then Republic for the Senate.
That makes no sense.
Somewhat, because then like Biden has to check in with the Senate, and if they're all Democratic, then he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But if they're, it does. I know it's stupid. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of silly, though. I think that's kind of silly to have to make it. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's so crazy that it's like pointless to kind of fight it, because then what do you think is going to happen? That means that it's not going to get better anyway, just by pure logic. I mean, if you're going to have like the Senate and the House of Representatives to be more Republican, and then you're going to have a Democratic president.
Yeah, they'll be fighting all the time, huh?
Yeah. So what is gonna be the difference? Ultimately, what is gonna be the difference between Trump and his Congress and Senate, and if he becomes president? I mean, it'll be just deadlock again, and we'll probably be still in this having the same conversation.
We're gonna be having this conversation for a while, dude. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not even going to change that much. And
I heard the only countries that aren't wearing a mask are back to like Denmark, Netherlands, Sweden. I don't know if that's true or not. You might be able to say if that's fact or not.
Yeah, Sweden decided that they weren't gonna wear masks anywhere.
Oh shit! And they're fine, right?
Somewhat. I mean, it's not the best. It wasn't the best strategy.
Well, whatever. I don't. Yeah, but people. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand people's thought process. Just like how you kind of are. I'm not trying to put you down, but I don't understand that, because that's a natural law of life. People that take care of themselves and can hunt and do things like that will survive. Someone that can't do shit for themselves will not. So it's the same for this. You don't take care of yourself, and you choose to do things that make you more susceptible to when these things come out, or anything, or even when you get sick every year, then that's your decision. Why does everybody else who takes care of themselves have to suffer for that? Then you stay home. I'm not saying you, I'm saying that person.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
Well, that makes sense. You make a good point. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why the laws are in favor of that.
There's no laws. They're not laws. They're not laws.
Rules or regulations.
They're even trying to give tickets and all this shit from the health department. That's not a fucking lawful department. What is that crap? It's just the health department. They're not law enforcement. So I don't understand. So fucking stupid, dude.
They're only supposed to give out basic guidelines how to
that's what it's trip, because that's what he was talking about in New York. Like, oh, we don't even have enough people to go around and do all that, so we're gonna have the health department and some other agencies giving tickets and doing enforcement, and it's saving people's lives and blah blah blah. What the fuck do you care, motherfucker? Look at the economy in New York. That shit's trash. So he's telling everybody what he thinks is good for them. Yeah, right.
Why would giving tickets be saving lives?
I'm the enforcement. I'm thinking they're going to throw people in jail or start locking people up if they don't wear it over there. Because he didn't necessarily say tickets. He was saying that doesn't work really. He said, "What does a ticket do? That doesn't really do anything." It's like, what the fuck you mean?
But wouldn't that make the situation worse if you threw all those people in prison? I mean, you're putting them in close quarters, even worse, closer quarters.
I don't know. No, that's what I'm saying. That's how it's fake. They don't care.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, if you're talking about how everybody has to be social distancing from each other, and you put them in prison, then that social distancing doesn't exist, right?
Nope.
It's almost like everything is contradictory to itself. It seems like to me is that when these law, or law, government officials, when they make these ideas, for example, I don't think they kind of think about the plan, right? I think they just want to put, they just say, we're going to give people tickets, we're going to put them in jail, and then they don't
No
think
way,
about
dude. It's that New World Order shit.
it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Whether you believe in that or not, dude, it's all coming about. Just more control, and people see it, and more people are talking about it. Even my mom was talking about how she walks at Pudding Stone, and the bathrooms are closed when they were open like a week or so ago. And the cop was saying it was due to COVID or something. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The bathroom's not open? Nobody's even around. It's like early in the morning. There's nobody even walking. Like, what do you mean? I don't know, dude. So the lady that's older was complaining to my mom saying this is just like control. So that's crazy because that means that people are actually like seeing what's going on.
But this is also a good example of how like it doesn't make sense to shut down those bathrooms because like, for example, if the law says that you can't urinate in public, right, you're going to get a fine for urinating in public, but you have the public bathrooms closed. Well, where else are people going to go to the bathroom? They're going to go in the public area, right? They're going to go around in the wilderness around the Pudding Stone Park. And so then so you're creating a situation that's like a lose-lose, right? Because if you have a closed bathroom, people are naturally going to go to the bathroom outside of it. And then who's going to clean up after that when it would be clean if people can use the restrooms? I mean, there's no logic to it at all.
If you have to go number 2, yeah, I get that. You know what I mean? But if you just got to piss and just go off trail and take a leak, you know what I mean? Woman or male.
I agree with that. I think that should be allowed.
They're nasty anyways. That's what's crazy. Sure. You do this, dude. It's crazy. People are nuts.
Whether they're nasty or not, there's still like facilities to be used, and if it's illegal to go, using the toilet publicly, then my point is, how can you close that down? And then people are going to use the bathroom outside, whether it's pooping, peeing, whatever, and then you're going to give them tickets for that. Well, for me, that's not logical. That goes against logic in a way. It's crazy. It's not. I don't understand that situation.
Because these people just follow orders. They don't think about what they're doing unless they want to quit their job.
And they don't even think about what they're doing when they make those orders. They don't understand the actual everyday outcomes of if you do these types of things.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny to have them in that situation and get that ticket or get. You know what I'm saying? That would be funny because they wouldn't like that very much.
No, exactly. So if the police officer has to go to that's what bothers me a lot, because if a police officer or law enforcement have to use the toilets, for example, then they have access to it, but people in the public don't have access to it. So it's like it's hard to explain that situation. Why do they have access but we don't? That doesn't make any sense. They should get fines too. But they won't because they have keys to that facility. We don't have keys.
Say that. Yep.
They
can go use it.
Right. So they're not
going to say anything or let anybody else know or do that. Yeah, I know. That's what's whack. That's what I'm saying. It's like this motherfucker's telling me what I need to do, yet he goes and does that. That's right. That's fair.
Yeah, that's not fair at all. That would be like for example, if they say, every 7-Eleven in the country gets closed down. Well, 7-Eleven is a great place to buy what? Like snacks and drinks and things like that. But okay, so I can't buy myself a drink, so I'm dying of thirst because, where else are you going to get something to drink, right? But then the people who are enforcing those laws, they can go into the 7-Eleven and you see them drinking like, Gatorades and, waters and things like that. And it's like, what? Why can that person go in there and I can't? and I have money just like that person. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
That's what's
You
strange.
don't gotta tell me, dude. I already know. I got with my situation and what happened to me. That's just shows you, dude. That's not fair.
I heard that New York is going to be there's a mass exodus, like people are leaving New York, and or at least people are leaving, or
You'd
people
be
are.
stupid to stay there. What the fuck?
I think there's no future. I mean, what I see that see if it's true that they said that New York is one of the grandest, largest, biggest, you know, nicest cities in the world, and now with this situation where everything's closed, people are getting locked down. You know, how is it going to recover from anything like that?
I don't think it will.
Yeah, it might be even worse than it's turning into maybe like Detroit or something.
Fuck. I don't know what dude, there's so much shit that's gonna go. Who even knows what's gonna happen when they around the election because these dumb fucking people and some of these people over here, like these so-called militias, which they're not, they're fake movements, are saying that they're gonna start a war or whatever if fucking if one of the other side wins or whatever, dude. It's just stupid, dude.
Get the point of a war? What is that going to solve?
What's the point of a war against each other, dude? If anything, we should take back our lives. What the fuck? Get these motherfuckers out of power. These fucking government cocksuckers.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's I think what is the point of having a civil war where people are fighting each other for no reason, basically? And then
That's how
okay,
brainwashed people are.
so I mean, if there's yeah, exactly. I mean, if there's going to be a war, okay, so let it be a war. But then you're killing each other for some stupid bullshit reason. It always is. And then what afterwards, right? What is going to happen afterwards? You're going to have to rebuild. You're going to have to, you know, try to find some money somewhere. You got to. A lot of people are not going to have any homes, right, anymore. If you destroy everything, where are these people going to live? You know,
Yeah, I know.
that's going to make that if there's a war that will make it if you're talking about a new world order, or if anybody's talking about, you know, how there's people going to be more controlling about people, if you have a war, then and everybody either dies or injured or suffering, then those people are going to be easily controlled for sure, because they're going to be so desperate for food, water, shelter. The only way to get out of that is they're going to seek government assistance. That's how I see it.
Or just let everybody kill each other off and then come up after and then put a new world, you know?
You can do that too. If you did that, I mean, how do you see it if that happened? I mean, who else would be there to control after that if everybody dies?
It
You
won't be
know?
everybody dying. It'll just be it only happened for so long, but there
Right.
would just be nobody to call and nobody to help you. And there might be like, I don't know how far I'd reach out towards me because I'm in the suburbs and be mostly in the cities. But who
Mhm.
knows how far I would get out? Because people would just crazy ass people would just start doing whatever because there's no cops or nothing. That's why you would have to have your own gun and protect your house. Or I don't know. Or they said that if martial law came involved, but I don't know if that'd be the case. They'd come try to get all your guns and shit and come in your house. Like I don't know who the fuck would let that happen. They're sold out of guns over here everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen. Or if it did, probably on a very limited scale. That they wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, there's no, now that I think of that, you're right because that's what they were saying. There's not enough enforcement for that. That's
No.
why if everybody in America saw that happening and was like "fuck that" and then all stood up together, then they would never win. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way that there's not enough people to do that.
But
Plus,
that's why they're trying to divide us now, so there's not as many left.
plus, don't forget the reason, you know, even if there's people in the military that, you know, they see the military, just because you're part of the military doesn't mean that you're brainwashed or anything. People have their own opinions as well. They're just part of the same unit or whatever. So I think in the beginning, if they did implement some kind of martial law, there'll be some people who are brainwashed and would like to follow that in the military or police agencies or defense agencies or whatever. But I still think that there are people in that that'll be like, hey man, what we're doing is this is crazy. blocking our own people from having access to things, I think it would
Yeah, you're right.
implode. I think they would implode naturally. Like, this is crazy. We're killing
Well, we're not fighting
Americans.
for our country. We're fucking killing our people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
And
That's what. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think that would happen too. Not everybody, but a lot of people would do that. Probably they'd be like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm not doing this."
right, exactly. You're gonna wake up one day, and you might. I mean, if you're, some people will, still stay the course and do all that, but then I think people will be like waking up to it, like, "Hey, man, this is crazy. What I'm doing. I gotta stop this." And
Well, it's
either
like you
just
don't want to be putting your family member in that shit or doing that shit to them. What the fuck?
right, because at the end of the day, it's a job that they have, as well, and then they'll just stop. It'll just stop.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe not right away, of course. It might take a while before.
I would think like a month or something.
Yeah, I would say
Because
say
look,
so.
that's another thing they're saying. They're saying that they won't even know who won for a while.
Sure.
So if that's the case, then during that whole time, who knows what they'll be pumping out or pushing out?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's hard to say what can happen as far as information being spread as well. In a
Yeah,
situation like that. Plus, it would be, to me, I think the situation would be so chaotic at that point that you'll see a systematic shutdown of all of society, that you wouldn't know who to trust anymore. You wouldn't even trust yourself probably at that point.
I hope you would.
I hope that people would too. But maybe it'd be so wild, man. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's why you don't go out.
Yeah, you would just stay inside and do your own thing.
Well, you would kind of have to.
Yeah, to protect yourself.
Unless you want to go out there and fight.
You could do that too.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
If you know the bigger picture, why are you going to go out there and fight?
Right.
I didn't serve in the military, the army. I'll fight for my country if we were all fighting against them, but I'm not fighting against each other or trying to uphold the Constitution against other people of the same race that just don't know what's going on. That doesn't make sense.
Right, because you're going to be just fighting your neighbor. So you kill your neighbor kills you. But at the end of the day, what did that all mean? What did you die for?
Nothing.
Exactly.
I know.
I don't think that's a good way to go about this situation, but a lot of people think that that's the answer at this moment, which is strange for me.
People do crazy things in desperate times.
Definitely people do desperate things, and if they get more and more desperate, especially when people can't go and buy basic things to provide for their families, the government's going to step in and say, hey, you're going to have to go through us to get all those basic needs. I think people will, in the beginning, definitely people will go for it because they're going to do whatever they need to just to survive. And that's a sad way to survive, but I think that's going to happen to a lot of people.
Well, that's why it's perfect to say that would go towards the Fed coin, because that would be the perfect plan. Nobody would have anything, and then, or a lot of people that didn't prepare beforehand, they would be in trouble. And then it's like, oh, well, we'll just deposit this money in your account. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. And so then people are going to be like, okay.
Eat that shit up.
Yeah, because people are going to be like, because they could spin it, right? They could say like, hey, this is a good way. Hey, you need some cash or this Fed coin. And people will be like, yeah, I need some. We need to buy some food. Okay. So then you provide them your account information. They give, deposit a few Fed coin into your account, and then you use it any way you want. Okay, fine. But then they're going to say like, hey, look, I see you don't have enough Fed coin. Either we're going to shut you off because we don't like you, or we'll just give you more. And to be honest, the more you take, the more kind of in debt you're going to be anyway.
Well, if they don't like what you buy, they'll shut your account down.
And then what are you going to do after that, right? Once you get your, if you can't even have cash and you can't have a regular bank account and you can't even have an account with this Fed coin, then what are you going to do, man?
You either trade with gold and silver and you find people that will do that, or you get off grid and you don't depend on the system.
Yeah, those are good options.
Those are the only options.
What I and what about what for
Or
example
crypto, or
or
cryptocurrency.
crypto? Yeah, like I understand from what I understand from this like Fed coin is the biggest thing I took from it from the articles that I've been reading is that uh I understand it, right? Like cashless is kind of cool in certain situations, especially I was thinking about it, right? Because now, apparently all around the world, uh, cash, coronavirus is on cash, it's on coins, it's everywhere. So, they're getting you away from using cash and coins at the cash registers and things like that. So they want you to use the contactless credit card purchases, which I kind of understand it and I don't understand it, and I'll tell you why. Like I understand it because it's convenient, right? You just put the card there, boom, they charge you immediately the price that they put in the cash register, boom, it's quick, it's easy. Whether it's hygienic or not, as much as cash, I don't know, but it's definitely convenient. With the cash, it takes a little bit more time. You have to count it, you have to count the coins, they have to give you the change, and so on. Now, what I was thinking about, if you have when I was reading the Fedcoin works like contactless money, right? But it's not crypto. So meaning that crypto, I think what I understand from crypto, you tell me if I'm wrong, if you're using cryptocurrency, it's not based on a centralized like domain or centralized space. It's like everywhere kind of when you have crypto coin.
Yeah, I think they're blockchains. That's what's called.
Yeah, blockchains, right? So that means that it goes from chain to chain and it's not in a central location. If I
Which is why they can't track it, really.
Right. And I think with the Fed coin, what they want to do is they want to have it in a centralized location, just like the Fed, like the Federal Reserve, and all of the Fed coin is from the Fed coin is fed from this like specific farm, I guess.
What the fuck?
That's what I understood. Now, I think it would be easier to track if you have it coming from a centralized location.
Oh, so it's just coming from there, so you know where it's coming from, and there's no way around it.
Right, so that you know that it's going to be coming from let's just say the Federal Reserve. Okay, so it's coming from that place, and all of that Fed coin is being distributed from this place. I know on servers and things like that, but from that centralized server, it's just from there.
Yeah, they'll be able to track it.
Right, so like they wouldn't have a server in Tokyo, for example, because it doesn't make sense. It will be only in the U.S.
They said Europe too, though.
Really?
Yeah, the EU just is working on it now.
But if you were to enroll in the Fed coin program, that Fed coin program would be that Fed coin would be use or could be used in Europe as well.
Yes, they'll probably just make their own.
Oh, yeah, I didn't read that. I read that the Fed coin they just wanted
Look it
the
up right now and see if it comes up.
let's see. Fed coin the US will issue. I'm looking on news.bitcoin.com. Let's see. Fed coin. The headline reads, "I'll cancel that. The U.S. will issue e-currency that you will use." Okay. See, uh, what. So here we go. Here's the opening sentence of the article and what is this article? This article was written on January 12th, 2017. Okay, fine. The U.S. Federal Reserve will not only issue its own cryptocurrency, but will also make sure Americans use it. Okay. That was from Doug Casey, his prediction. Yeah, so I think what they're going to do is they're going to spin it, right? They're going to say, like, to make sure you use it, either it's only going to be used in America, in the US, or this particular branch of FedCoin or they're gonna say like, oh, it's so convenient. You want to buy a car, you can purchase a car with this Fed coin, or you want to, you know, uh,
I think it's going to be one system. It'll just be like different fiat money.
that makes sense.
How could it not be? If it's going to be the whole world and everybody's going through the same shit, how would they not implement the same thing? That's why they've been breaking all the banks everywhere. And has the market been crashing over there at all?
Not really. We've been pretty stable.
As far as your market, but I'm saying like the world market, no.
Oh yeah, no, it's been volatile.
I'm saying like you could, if you guys stay on that, you'll be fine. But I'm saying as far as if you go turn in gold, it's going off the world price, not Czech Republic price.
Of course.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So eventually, I could, even if you guys still keep that, they'll probably have that option. Just like you can you pay with Bitcoin over there?
Like in shops and things?
No, I'm saying like online. If you were to purchase something, it's not everywhere, but I'm saying some places offer you can pay in Bitcoin.
Some places, but not everywhere.
Same thing here. It's not everywhere, but online you can do it some places. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
Well, no, because I'm reading the article. But yeah, fuck.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You won't have it that bad.
Let's see. Oh, why? Let's see. Let's go to a different one. I read this already.
That's why I'll still be prepared to figure out what I'm going to do. I'll probably still eventually be coming over there. I think my parents are going to buy a place up north. So I live with them for a little bit and just keep getting prepared, have all my shit ready, and then I'll just bounce when shit gets weird.
That's a good idea.
It's the only idea.
Let's see. Fed governor. When is this? This is from. Oh, this is a recent article. This is from markets.businessinsider.com, August 14th, 2020. Fed governor says central bank will partner with MIT on possible digital currency. So even MIT is going to get involved with the universities.
Fuck.
The Fed aims to gain a better understanding of the digital currencies through the program, Brainard said during a conference sponsored by the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. The Monetary Authority will also explore the potential of offering a digital equivalent of the US dollar. The program marks a major step towards the Fed's interest in digital currencies. Brainard stressed that the Fed isn't in a position to issue digital cash yet, as a significant policy process is needed to even consider issuing a central bank digital currency. The research will involve a hypothetical coin oriented to central bank uses. I don't know what that means.
You know what the problem is, though? It's not backed by anything.
No.
So you're just getting more in debt.
Right, because from what I've been reading is that they want to make the Bitcoin equal to, so one Bitcoin is $1 US, but if the US dollar is not backed by anything, then what is this Fed coin going to be backed by, right?
Exactly.
So you're not only going to get into more debt, but you're also just going to be using money that they just made up out of thin air. It's going to be wild.
And they can easily take away from you and you have nothing.
Right, exactly. And they're already dealing with high unemployment and high homelessness. So how are you going to solve that problem?
They're not.
Right. So all these things are connected in somehow, right? Money, work,
sure.
Homelessness, and it seems like it seems like, okay, so if they focus on one problem, but they don't realize that while they're trying to fix that problem, it's affecting like 50 other smaller problems,
Oh no, they realize it.
Do you think so?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know if they do or not. I think
I'm not sure. Some of them have businesses and they never closed.
No, businesses, no. I'm talking about government people. I think government people don't think like that. I think they're stupid. I think they learn.
They're smart. They're super smart. That's why they steal our money. They don't care about us. At least in America, they don't. That's why we're at where we're at.
But do you think? That's an interesting topic that you brought up. I mean, do you really think, like, what to you in your opinion would mean, like, uh the government cares about you? Like, what would be something that for you that the government would do if they cared about you? Like, what does that mean, that
It's just all the restrictions, and then they don't uphold what they say.
So what would be like an example of something that they could do that they actually cared about the people?
Well, they still haven't gotten stimulus money to the people. They're just arguing over it. If they really cared about the people, it would have been done that day.
Right.
That's just one prime example. So that's why
Uh-huh.
they're dragging it out, dragging it out. More people are going broke, this and that, and they're just trying to put all these people out of business. Once they put them out of business, and they buy up that land, it's all a scam.
So wasn't the stimulus package, then don't you think that that would be a failure to even even to provide something like that, put something on that on the table? To me, it's even deeper than that. For me, myself personally, I mean, why would you promise to pay all these people and give people some type of money to help them, and then provide this kind of stimulus package to people and not follow through on it, or not have any, it's like a broken, empty promise. I mean, that to me sounds like a stupid thing to promise. That would be like to promise you to, if I paid you $1,000, but I only had like $45 to give you. I mean, where, or $50 to give you? Where's that 950 other dollars I'm supposed to give you? I mean, that's pure idiocy to me, to even propose an idea such as that. That shouldn't have even been on the table then.
I think they're just stringing them along.
Right.
It's the whole plan.
So that's a stupid plan, in my opinion. Really
It's
stupid
yeah,
plan.
yeah, but you're looking at it like they care. That's what I'm saying. You're still looking at it like they care. They don't.
No, I'm not looking at it like that, like they care. I'm looking at it like they shouldn't. I don't
It's a
want them to
perfect plan because people are so stupid here. That's why.
I don't want them to care about me, because the more that they care about me, the more that they can control me. I don't want to care about the government, and I don't want I don't want people in government to care about me. I want to be just living my own life.
100%. That's what you're
So,
supposed to do.
right. So that's why I'm looking at it from just pure idiocracy. It's
Oh,
pure.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just pushing back on you, because pushing back at you because this, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I feel like if they wanted to, for me, my example, if the government really cared about you, they wouldn't they wouldn't first, they wouldn't even put on the table this Fed coin thing. They wouldn't do that, right? uh they would make sure that the way that the economy is running would allow you to maximize your potential, meaning like you would have the freedom to run and open your own business without the stupid red tape. That would be something that they would care about you. That would They wouldn't allow the people on Wall Street to just scam people out of their money, out of their minds, basically, and take all their savings, on speculation. That would be
Yeah.
something that they would care about. Uh, Remember in 2007 to through 2009, something that they would be, if they cared about you, what they would do is they would make sure that the banks had to tell you exactly what type of situation you were getting into, so that when you did, or if you lost your job, you wouldn't have to lose your house and your cars and all that. That would be something that would be smart.
Yeah, they
But
just want to give you loans and stuff.
yeah, exactly. So that's why they don't care about you. They just give you loans, and then you
When it's just debit or credit,
right.
it's still debt.
It's still dead. Or or if they cared about you, they wouldn't have student loans go out of the roof, and the interest payments on paying those loans back are like 25%.
That
I
makes
mean,
no sense because I thought those people are helping people. Why are you putting them in debt and making them not be able to, like, they should be living a good life, making good decisions all the time.
right, exactly. Especially when you know that those students are trying to educate themselves at a higher level, supposedly, right? So,
Yeah, that's
you
crazy.
know, it's crazy. I I mean, I know, Drew. This is where we disagree. There's certain things that we disagree on, but
I don't know
that's
if it's necessarily disagreeing. I just think you'll see more of it come about, and you'll be like, "Oh shit!" Maybe not over there, but just you know what I'm saying, around the world. Because like, how is all this stuff coming about at the same time? That's dumb as fuck, dude. It's like a plan.
yeah, it's weird. It's really weird that everywhere that I noticed that everywhere around the world has the basic same type of restrictions around the world.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's really that can't be just a coincidence. You know what I mean?
No,
Definitely not.
it can't be, dude. There's no way.
There absolutely is no way. I mean, you're telling me. I mean, if it was really random, right? Wouldn't you think like that different countries would have different rules and regulations, like completely different, right? Around the world.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody has kind of like every country kind of has like a basic same type of structure, about different types of regulations and things like that. It's
Yeah.
really, it's really weird.
But some places are lax than others.
Yeah, that's true. Some places. I, speaking of all these things, man, what do you think about that North Sentinel Island in the middle of the Indian Ocean with that uncontacted tribe, man?
You know what I was thinking about that the other day? I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah, that would be interesting to kind of see how they're coping with that. Those people.
I'm sure they don't even have it. I'm just saying, I wonder if they'll ever try to control them.
They're kind of controlled, but not really, because like the only thing they're kind of like impartially controlled because the government of India said that nobody can fuck with that. So like India has some kind of authority over them, but not much.
But I wonder if they've ever really had contact with them.
There's been some type of contact, but everybody who contacted them got killed.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they just gave up and said, we're not going to mess with them. Or if they've actually been over there and talked to them and then said, we'll protect you guys or whatever. You know what I mean?
But isn't that wild that there are still people who are living like that in this time in 2020? Doesn't that seem like that society seems like that would be some BC shit? You know what I mean?
Kind of, but I mean, I guess not, because there's so many places in the world that we haven't been.
Right, exactly. That place is wild to me, man. But good on them. Good on them, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're just keeping their culture alive.
Yeah, exactly. Did you hear about that in 2018? That dude from California or whatever, he wanted to try to spread Christianity to him.
Yeah, and they killed him.
Yeah, he went there twice, bro.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. That fool's retard.
Yeah,
don't care what you're going over there to do.
Dude, just don't fuck with them. I don't know. He was trying to read them the Bible and like talk to them and see what's going on. I would just like, dude, the first time he went there, he got fucked with, man. They were shooting arrows at him. And then he said like, hey, or I don't know what he said, but I guess in his mind he was thinking like, hey man, let's try this again. Second time, dude, that fool got killed, man.
That fool's tripping.
What did he think he was gonna accomplish? Like he's Junipero Serra.
That's not funny, but you know what I mean. He seriously did.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, is he like Junipero Serra gonna like build like missions there, like in California, and have all the Native American people?
Right, didn't even make it off the boat.
He never made it off the boat. I don't think.
See,
I think they shot him. They were like snipers with their bows and arrows and shot him like five or six times, man.
That guy's an idiot.
Yeah, and then I think they took him ashore and ate him. Dude.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, did you want to hear a crazy fact?
Yeah.
So, did you know a lot of people think that Lutherans are Christians?
Yes.
They're not. Did you know I looked up the definition or who created Lutheran, and it's Martin Luther, who was a fucking Freemason.
That I didn't know. I didn't know he was a Freemason. I knew that.
Yeah, he was.
Really, that dude,
Yeah.
that dude was the guy who went up and fought against the church and put on like his list of demands or some shit like that.
Yeah, mom. It's like, well, I don't believe in that shit. Why was I ever going to that church? My mom doesn't know that, or what?
Your mom didn't know that the Lutheran Church was founded by this Martin Luther guy?
No, that's what I'm saying. They don't do their research like that, or they don't think of that. I'm sure my best friend doesn't know that shit either. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a pastor if he really believed in God and was pushing that truth.
Yeah, but wouldn't that make sense? Like, if you were going to follow that, like a certain path of religion, you might want to find out where it came from a
I
little
would think a
bit.
smart person would, but I never thought like that before until like the last year or two. Now I
Yeah,
research everything. If someone tells me something, I research that, and then I research what they believe in, because it's like if they're totally off or telling you something, and they don't even believe in that, and they believe in something else, or their religion says something else, and that doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Then they're lying to you.
exactly. Don't you think too that if don't you think too that if people like if you joined the Lutheran Church and you didn't know about Martin Luther and you just joined it and you were being yourself a good person and you were ignorant to that fact, d- does that make you does that make them like liars, or does that make them like just ignorant people that just don't even they just accept any information that comes to them?
Yeah, that's a problem. And that's why I believe Cooper, and I believe all that stuff that he says, and a lot of it has came true, and I've researched a lot of it, and it's true. But that's why I believe that guy, dude, because that's exactly the truth. And it says in the Bible, if you believe in the Bible or believe in God, it says you have to decipher the truth from deception. So it says that in there, dude. And it's like, well, then if I'm telling you this and you don't want to do the research on it, and it's true and it's written in history and it's fact, and the more you like research it, the more you see it come about, and you start to see the signs, the symbols. You're like, holy shit, this crap's everywhere. It's like, well, I don't know how you can deny that. They just want to deny that because this is fucking brainwashed, dude. Brainwashed.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like they live in delusion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so that's like an interesting question because for me, is it like does that does that mean I'm just only asking, right? I mean, does that mean if these people are Lutheran or Presbyterian or whatever and don't do the research and they practice it, right, without knowing the background of it, do you think that do you think it gets away from the original concept of Lutheranism, or do you think it is actually still Lutheranism, but it's not the way that Martin Luther even imagined it, or just do you think it's just all bullshit, all of it?
Well, that's bullshit, I think, and I think it's their fault because they go to church and learn from somebody else that fucking is pushing their agenda.
Suicide.
Hold on, hey, give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah.
get out of here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. No
I got
problem. Let's see.
Go lay down.
Johnstown. Let's look this up. Yeah, this guy. Let's see what he was. Open a link. So yeah, let's see, who's this guy? James Warren Jones. Who is he? He is uh the leader of the People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ. Wow. Let's see. And it was started in 1960s with the headquarters in San Francisco. And what did they believe in? Let's see. Oh, it was in California. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. And organizational structure, recruiting, faith healing, size and scope, kin solving, seriously, defections. Let's see. But what is their beliefs? Doesn't say. Let's look it up. The People's Temple of the Disciples of the Christ. So, paste. Let's see. Britannica, the People's Temple of the Christ. was a movement. Was a movement. Summary of the movement. So here's a summary of the movement. The People's Temple, sometimes spelled People's Temple, was a new religious movement founded by Jim Jones. At the peak of its membership, it had around 5,000 members across a number of churches in California. Whilst it began as a Christian movement, drawing on elements of Pentecostalism and the social and multiracial equality of liberal Protestant denominations, Jones turned against traditional Christianity over time, arguing that it had kept people enslaved. Instead, he preached a form of apostolic socialism, his own interpretation of communism, teaching his followers the importance of allegiance to the community. Oh, this guy was crazy. Seems like he was all up and down California in the 60s and 70s. And in 1974, the People's Temple began to negotiate with the government of Guyana to develop a 4,000-acre site near the Venezuelan border. The official lease of the land was signed in 1976, officially called the People's Temple Agricultural Project. The community became known as Jonestown. Members moved there over the course of 1977. So it took 3 years to kind of develop this project to live in Guyana, partly to escape the racism that some were experiencing in America from far-right individuals and groups.
Down now.
Guyana was chosen because it was an English-speaking and yet multiracial country with a black minority government, which espoused socialist ideals. By the end of 1977, there was around 1,000 residents, the majority of them African Americans, and over 900 of the residents died on the 18th of November 1978. Yeah.
I gotta move this for him. You stay here, don't you move.
John Jones. Oh man. That guy must have been really, really crazy to dupe residents of this town in Guyana to cause them to commit mass murder and suicide. I wonder what happened to Jim Jones. And let's see. James Jones. Let's look him up. James Jones. James Jones. He was the pastor. Let's see. James Jones.
I'm back, buddy. Steve-O.
Yeah.
I'm back, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem, man. I was just looking up this guy named Jim Jones or James Jones.
Who's that?
Have you heard of this guy?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, Jim Jones, man. He was a leader of the People's Temple in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s in California. Dude, this guy was wild. He set up this own cult. And there was 5,000 people that were part of his cult. And what he did was he took all of his congregation or all the members, moved them to Guyana into a town called Jonestown, which was named after him. And basically he had them all commit mass suicide. And yeah, dude. And he was thinking that he thought that he wanted to implement socialism and communism within religion somehow. And then he shot himself in the head after all this.
What a fucking psycho.
Yeah, he was psycho.
He was in California?
He was in California. They moved there in 1965, and he offered people like free healthcare, free housing, mentally ill, like what do you call it? Rehabilitation and care. And then he lived with all these people in Jonestown in Guyana in South America, man.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. He was able to brainwash all these people, bro.
What made you look that guy up?
Well, because we were talking about brainwashing and we were talking about, you know, religion. We were talking about Lutheranism. And then so it just came to my mind. And I was like, what about that guy, that crazy guy that was in South America? Reminds me of something like that. And then I was like, yeah, Jonestown. I remember him. I remember reading about that.
Crazy.
Dude, that guy's wild, man.
Oh, that guy that was talking. Just real quick, this guy was saying he'd rather get stung by a bee than a wasp.
I guess so. It depends. I mean, the different, yeah, that makes sense because when a bee stings, it loses its stinger, and when a wasp stings, it doesn't. So it can sting you multiple times.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But as far as like the effects, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the effects.
He just had I could have probably done it myself. He just had a big sprayer that went far.
Yeah, you probably could have. So were they able to get rid of the wasps?
I don't know. I didn't check yet. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if he. I don't think he left yet.
He's still working on it.
It's just fucked up because I don't go on that side of the house and I rent. So like, I'm not going to clean all that crap up. So there's just a bunch of shit on the side right there. So he kind of had to maneuver through it. But so it just so happened to be on that side of the house. But
Oh, he's probably got like a big ladder or something to maneuver around it.
dude, he didn't even have a ladder.
So what did he do? Just
He had like a sprayer. He must have had like a really good sprayer. Maybe it goes super, super far. Looked like he spray it from the ground.
and probably like a direct spray right onto the wasp nest.
Yeah. The one I had went 20 feet, but
Yeah. Maybe his goes, I don't know, 100 feet or 75 feet.
that's what I'm saying. Probably, right?
Yeah, probably.
Crazy.
That's crazy, man. So anyway, when do you wanna wrap this up for tonight, man?
It's up to you. I'm done. We can talk a little bit longer if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired tonight. It's been a long day, man.
We can do tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just this weekend and today was a long day, and
Me too. The last 2 days, man. I'm sorry.
no, it's no problem. I mean, it's been exhausting days. There's like, just taking care of stuff and cleaning up around the house and spending time with some family members and then work. It's almost like kind of nonstop at the moment, but hey, it's all good.
It's all good though. It's worth it at the end.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. Always a good conversation, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Sorry, it's all over the place sometimes.
Why? What can you do? Life moves on. Life goes on. And the best part of these podcasts, man. The best part is when we're having these conversations, like all these ideas pop up into my head or in your head, and then we talk about different topics. It's great, man.
I kind of like it like that though, because if it keeps flowing, as long as it doesn't get dead. And like, I'm sorry I brought up the wasp thing or whatever, but just saying
the wasp things was great.
But just saying it's cool how it kind of flows and we can just keep it going. And then it hits a certain point where you just don't want to keep it going and talk about, just keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think for that time, it's good enough or enough that's been said. Don't be sorry about anything about the wasps or anything like that. It's a great conversation, great content as always. Good argument in the beginning. It's always good to push back on each other a little bit, of course.
I agree.
And it keeps the dialogue healthy, man. It's always fun.
Makes for good content.
Yeah, exactly. It makes for great content, man. So
we'll get some rest, dude.
Yeah, get some rest too. Well, take care of what you need to be taken care of. And then we'll follow up. We'll have another podcast real soon, huh?
Sounds good, man.
Sounds good, man. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode, and always a pleasure, man. Thanks.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right, take
All
care,
right,
man. Peace.
Bye.